the conference. And when I went through the program, I saw the name of former President Bill Clinton. That he's going to be addressing the conference, so I sent a letter to them right away. I will not disgrace myself, and I will not disgrace the Ummah of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam in participating in any conference, Islamic conference, in which Bill Clinton is invited to address the conference, or any representative of the government of the United States of America. You can be annoyed with me, that's your business. I will not disgrace myself and disgrace the Ummah of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. That was my response. Why? Because I can see the Jewish-Christian alliance. It is this Jewish-Christian alliance which came into being and was cemented by something called Zionism, which has its mission to liberate the Holy Land for the Jews, to bring the Jews back to the Holy Land, to reclaim it as their own 2,000 years after Allah had expelled them. And having expelled them, he said, وَحَرَامٌ عَلَى قَرْيَةٍ أَهْلَكْنَاهَا أَنَّهُمْ لَا يَرْجِعُونَ. You can never return to reclaim this town as you own after I've destroyed it. You can never return. Hatta, until, and we let you know what it is. So I recognize that it is the Judeo-Christian Zionist alliance which is at the heart of modern Western civilization. That it is this modern Western civilization which gave to the world a continuing scientific and technological revolution, which gave to it unprecedented military power. For the first time in human history, one civilization with a military power to take control of the whole world. And then use that military power to wage a Western jihad against the rest of the world, at the point of a bloody sword, and to colonize the rest of the world. In their jihad, they call it crusades. It's a jihad. And Bill Clinton is one of the foremost figures in that alliance. Every American president. If an American president steps out of line, they do to them what they did to JFK. If an American president steps out of line, they do to them what they did to John F. Kennedy. You're not supposed to step out of line. So I said to them, I will not disgrace myself and disgrace the Ummah of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam by attending an Islamic conference in a Muslim country to be addressed by Bill Clinton or any representative of the US government. I gave that answer because my ilmu akhir al-zaman, or Islamic eschatology, allowed me to recognize the reality of modern Western civilization using the Book of Allah. That's the importance of this subject. Modern Western civilization passed through certain stages in the process of serving the mission of Al-Masih al-Dajjal. Who is Al-Masih al-Dajjal is not taught in your engineering faculty. He is someone created by Allah, whose mission it is to impersonate the true Messiah and get the Jews to believe that he is the true Messiah, when in fact he would be the false Messiah. When Allah sent the true Messiah, Allah tested them, and they failed the test. They said he's a bastard. They said he's a bastard. And a bastard cannot be the Messiah. And then when they saw him die on the cross before their very eyes, no, he could not be the Messiah. Why? He is dead. He never ruled the world from Jerusalem. The golden age never came back. The Holy Land is still under Roman rule. What they did not know, and no one knew until the Quran was revealed, was Jibreel alayhi salam who came to her in the form of a human being to inform her, you're going to have a baby boy. And he's going to be the Messiah. And she said, how can I have a baby boy when no man has ever touched me? And he said, it's a matter decreed by Allah. يَفْعَلُ مَا يُرِيدُ. He can do whatever he wants. What they did not know, and no one knew until the Quran was revealed, was that no, they did not kill him. No, they did not crucify him. Allah made it appear like that. And if we have the time, the Quran can explain to you what happened. And Allah raised him. So he never experienced maut. What is maut?
Yes.
Maut is when Allah takes the soul and does not return it. Oh? So can Allah take the soul and return it? Huh? Is that possible? Yeah. In Surah Al-Zumar, Allah takes the soul and Allah can return it when you're sleeping. So one day, he's going to come back, the true Messiah. But they rejected him. They say he's a bastard. And they're waiting for the Messiah to come. So that's why Allah created the false Messiah. And the false Messiah is the mastermind who created modern Western civilization. Only Islamic eschatology can give that answer, no one else. No one else. And the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, about Dajjal, and if you want to study Dajjal, make sure you know politics. Make sure you know economics. Make sure you know monetary economics. Make sure you know world history. If you want to study Dajjal, don't enter this subject unless you have a versatile scholarship. Make sure you have proper methodology for studying the Quran. And that proper methodology will be able to identify for you fabricated ahadith. Like that, fabricated ahadith. Fabricated hadith. That Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha said, the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam married me when I was 6. Sahih Bukhari. If you accept that to be true, then I ask you to show just 5 ringgits worth of integrity. That's all. Stand up and say, I am prepared to marry a 6-year-old girl. If he could do it, then it is sunnah. If it is the sunnah to marry a 6-year-old girl, then how come you're not doing it? If you have integrity, if you say the hadith is valid, it is true, then how come you're not prepared to even say it? Come on, I challenge you. Say it. No one has done it in human history. From the time of the Prophet ﷺ to this day, how many Muslims have married a 6-year-old girl? How many? Why have you abandoned the sunnah so shamelessly? The answer is, the hadith is fabricated. It is in conflict with the Quran. So proper methodology is required. Because when you come to Ilmu Akhir Zaman, you're entering into a minefield. They put mines there. You step on it, the ship will blow. Sometimes the hadith is fabricated. And sometimes a part of the hadith is fabricated. The rest is okay. So you've got to be able to recognize the fabrication. The Prophet said, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, when Dajjal is released, he'll live on earth for 40 days. There's a book outside of mine entitled Jerusalem in the Quran, and the cover of the book, designed by a Malay artist, you'd see 3 circles based on this hadith. So when Dajjal is released, he'll live on earth for 40 days. One day, Yawmun Kasana, one day which would be like a year. Oh, wait a minute, this is the Faculty of Engineering. So you know about space and time in this university. One day which will be like a year. Yawmun Kashahr, one day which will be like a month. Yawmun Kajum'ah, one day which will be like a week. وَسَائِرُ أَيَّامِهِ كَأَيَّامِكُمْ, and all his days, meaning all the rest of his days, would be like your days. When his day is like our day, he would be in our world of space and time. So you'll be able to see him. He'll be a Jew. He'll be a young man. He'll be powerfully built. He'll have curls. The Orthodox Jews have curls because of what is in the Torah. And from Jerusalem he will declare, I am the Messiah. My estimate is that that's not too long from now when that's going to happen. But before he enters into our world of space and time, he's born of Jewish parents, Dajjal will not succeed in convincing any Jew that he is the Messiah unless they know who are his parents. They have to be able to trace the bloodline, that this man is from the house of David, Dawood alayhi salam, if he is to be accepted. So he can't just drop out of the sky with a star. No. You have to know his pedigree. You have to know who his parents and grandparents and so on. So at that time, Dajjal will be born as a human being. But before that, he's not in our world of space and time, but he's here on earth. Are there angels in this auditorium? Of course there are. Can you see them? No, you can't. But they're here. There are 2 on your shoulders. Can you see them? No. Are there jinn in this auditorium? Yes. Each one of us has a jinn attached to us. Can we see them? No, we can't. But they're here. So Dajjal is here, but you can't see him. So in stage 1, a day which is like a year is the longest one. And then comes a shorter one, a day which is like a month. And then comes the shortest one, a day which is like a week. Perhaps. I don't know. This is what is in the Christian, the Jewish scriptures. When they spoke of the mark of Dajjal, the beast, 666. 666 would be 600 plus 60 plus 6. 600 being a big number, 60 being a much smaller number, and 6 being a very, very small number. So a day like a year, a day like a month, a day like a week. And during these 3 stages, he is advancing towards his goal of eventually ruling the world from Jerusalem. If you want to rule the world, that has political implications. If you want to rule the world, that has economic implications. If you want to rule the world, that has monetary implications. If you want to rule the world, that has military implications. So the student of Dajjal has work to do. I noticed that the hadith speaks of Dajjal, the hadith of Tamim al-Dari, as being on an island. So when he's released, he'll be released from that island. In my book, Jerusalem in the Quran, I came to the conclusion the island is Britain. And I gave a substantial amount of evidence to support my claim. But if you want to say Singapore, that's your choice. That's your choice. No need for any boxing gloves over it. This is my view. It's Britain. And I noticed that in a day which is like a year, Britain emerged as the ruling state of the world in what is known in international relations as Pax Britannica. The Pax Britannica did not drop out of the sky. No, there is an explanation for the emergence of Pax Britannica, and that is Dajjal. I noticed that Britain had to wage great wars to assume that position. Great naval wars. Britain became the ruler of the seas. That's your homework. But I also noticed the emergence of something called the Bank of England. And paper money. This scam called paper money. And I noticed the sterling pound moving from gold to paper. And then the sterling pound becoming the universal currency and Britain becoming the financial capital of the world. And none of this is happening by accident. If you believe that this is happening by accident, you've got peanuts in your head. You have to excuse me. I'm 72. And I've been in this field for a long time. So sometimes my language now betrays the agony I just can't get the scholars of Islam to agree with me. Everybody else agrees with me, but not the ulama. So it's a case of frustration. Yeah. So you have to kindly excuse me. And then I noticed a mysterious change taking place, not by accident. The great wars take place and Britain sinks. And the sterling pound sinks with it. Britain can no longer command the authority of the sterling pound. And the United States, that maverick, born just 200 years ago, takes over from Britain. And the US dollar replaces the sterling pound as the international currency. I attended a conference of independent thinkers in Iran 2 weeks ago. It was a galaxy of independent thinkers from all over the world. And it was a joy to be in the presence of these people. The only place in the world where they could gather is in Iran, nowhere else. And during the course of the conference, there was a professor, a university professor from Canada, sitting close to me. A professor of history, political history, written huge works on history. And his mind began to work over time when he began to listen to our eschatology. And then he surprised me with something I never thought about. He said to me, the United States was a baby in the womb of Britain, incubating within the womb of Britain. Pax Americana, he said, was in the womb of Pax Britannica, incubating. But Pax Britannica never knew that this baby, when it's born, is going to grow up and take over from the mother. as though a slave woman will give birth to her mistress. And he says the same thing is happening now, Imran. The United States is now in irreversible decline. I didn't need political analysis for that. I only needed Islamic eschatology. About 20 years ago, those who know me will know, for 20 years now I've been saying the US dollar is going to crash. And the whole monetary system will collapse. Where did I get that knowledge from? Was it some jinn? That's what the Salafi are now saying. No, it's analysis. Political and economic and monetary analysis based on ilmu akhirul zaman. That crash is coming. Guess who wants the crash? Of course it'll have to be a big war, because that's what happened the last time. But this big war is going to be the war of all wars. The Prophet ﷺ called it the Malhama. The Christians call it Armageddon. Don't blame me for it. It's there. We all know about it. I realized in the conference that it is the malhama and only the malhama which can bring down the US dollar. Otherwise, the US dollar is still flying high. And so long as the US dollar is flying high, the United States is the ruling state in the world. But he said to me, the baby is incubating. Pax Judaica is incubating in the womb of Pax Americana. History is repeating itself. I said to him, MashaAllah, a secular scholar, and you were able to recognize something so important that I did not recognize. So this is where we are now. A day which is like a month is coming to an end, and a day which is like a week is about to commence. And if we are not conscious of that, something is wrong.